Thank you for joining us. You're watching a career success video from Computer Coach. Computer Coach is a Tampa-based computer training center specializing in helping IT and business professionals add on the skills they need to reach their desired career goals. If you are job searching, in transition, or are looking for guidance, please feel free to reach out to us at www.computercoach.com. Now, let's get started.
All right, awesome. And with that, let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen for everybody. Okay, so let's get started today. So if you just joined us, again, I am Suzanne Ricci. I am the director here at Computer Coach, where we provide a variety of tech boot camps, certification preparation, training courses, and upskilling and continuing education. So today we are going to talk about ChatGPT and the job seeker journey. So let us get started. One of the things when we talk about any new technology, right, is it's really important to make sure that we are keeping an open mind. So a lot of times when we talk about artificial intelligence or natural language processing tools, people instantly kind of get a little nervous sometimes, a little scared. They start thinking, is this going to replace my job? And I wish I could sit here today and tell you that it hasn't replaced any jobs, but that's actually not true. But what we do find more than anything is that ChatGPT and the other tools, the other AI type tools like ChatGPT, they're really augmenting some of the roles. So today, my goal is to show you how we are using ChatGPT and how you can use ChatGPT essentially so that you have a career coach in your back pocket at all times. So with that, we are going to cover a lot of different prompts and a lot of different techniques that you can use. We have a QR code on the screen for you where you can scan it. There is a companion workbook to this particular presentation. Because once we get started, we're going to move pretty fast with the various prompts, and you're probably not going to be able to write them down as fast as we're going to discuss them. So go ahead, scan the QR code. I promise you, I will have the QR code also at the end of the presentation. So if you don't want to scan now because you're not really sure, then don't worry, you can scan at the end. I am, while you scan, going to go ahead and drop in my LinkedIn because I love connecting with individuals that come to our presentations. I love to hear about your particular journey and how it's going for you. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. So there is my LinkedIn, and you are more than welcome to drop your LinkedIn into the chat as well so that we can all connect and get to know each other. Is anybody currently using ChatGPT, or anybody not really know what ChatGPT is? You're more than welcome to drop it into the chat if you're comfortable. Today, we're hoping to cover some of that and answer some of the questions that you may have. Oh, you use it to create a cover letter. That's great. Generate ideas. Yeah. Yeah, Google Bard. Sure. They work very similar, right? Using it to beef up your resume duties. Yeah. And so we're going to talk about some of the things. That's awesome that some of you are already using it, the ways that we are also using it in our job placement department. But one of the things about ChatGPT is a natural language processing tool. It is built on artificial intelligence, and where it really excels is it allows you to have human-like conversation. And for all of us who are in a journey finding our next job roles, it really is like having a professional coach in your corner at all times. And what it does is it gives you the ability to ask questions, get some information, beef up your resume, clarify some things that maybe you're not really that clear on, practice some interviewing questions, and then it allows you, when you are with somebody, if you are a customer at Computer Coach, for example, and you're making an appointment to meet with one of us to discuss your career path or get some coaching, then it allows you to be more effective with the time that you have with the professionals that are coaching you to your next career move. So when we talk about the job seeker journey at Computer Coach, we have it broken down into 5 different phases, and we have defined different ways that we can use ChatGPT in each one of the 5 phases. So for us, the journey starts with research. It all begins with being in the know. The more a job seeker knows about their career path, their desired outcome, the easier it's going to be to get there. So we use the research phase of the job seeker journey to get a lot of valuable insights that help you in each of the other 4 stages. And ChatGPT in particular can be very useful in the research phase. Now, I'm going to put it out there because I'm sure someone's going to ask. ChatGPT, as well as all AI tools, do at points do what we call hallucinate. They will give you incorrect information. And that is why, as job seekers, we need to know our own career paths. And that's where I say, AI can't replace every job out there because we know what we've done. We know the tasks that we were responsible for. And so if we're asking ChatGPT to create a skills list for cybersecurity analysts, for example, and it gives us kind of a wonky list that doesn't seem right, we still have to know as individuals who want to pursue our career as a cybersecurity analyst what is right or wrong. The second phase is helping with the resumes, effectively showcasing our skills and experience. The third phase of the job seeker journey is having a conversation. So a lot of times individuals will come to me and they will say, Suzanne, I need to find a job. I need to write a resume. And the resume is a marketing document that is designed to get you a conversation, whether that's a phone conversation, like a phone screen, or maybe that's a conversation at a networking event, or maybe a friend of yours referred you into an open position or into a company and they're going to call you and you're going to have a conversation. You're going to get on Zoom and have a conversation. The resume is designed to convert to a conversation where you can then create meaningful conversations and really display why you should move to the 4th stage of the job seeker journey, which is the interview. In the interview, you're demonstrating why you are the right employee for the job. And then the step 5 is negotiating your job offer, onboarding, all of that. But the truth is to land a job, we need to have an interview. Now, to have an interview, generally, we're going to have a conversation before that interview to see if we move from stage 3 to 4. And we need a resume to be able to get those conversations. So we have a 5-stage journey, and we're going to talk about how we're using ChatGPT at each of the stages. So let's start off with research. It all begins with being in the know. And again, if you didn't download the companion workbook, it's okay. There's a QR code at the end that has all of the prompts that we're discussing and more in the companion workbook. So some of the things that we use the ChatGPT for in the research phase include building skills lists. What skills do I need to be a cybersecurity analyst? We use ChatGPT to look for top companies in the area, conducting overall job research as far as are cybersecurity analysts a growing job field, alternative job titles. I have to tell you, if you're going to take one tip away from today, I think alternative job titles is a really great tip to take because just expanding your job title search as a job seeker opens up more opportunities for you. The days of every company having the same job title are long gone. So it's really important that we know what skills we have and what skills those job titles are for us. And so it's really important to make sure that we know that a customer service ninja or a tech support ninja and a desktop support technician, they could have the same skill set required in different companies. They may just be calling them different roles. And then we use ChatGPT in research for professional branding and also for looking at these are our skills and these are the particular types of roles that map to them. So when it comes to overall statistics of the sector, some prompts that we've put in are stats on the cybersecurity sector. Now you can expand these prompts if you'd like. I just wanted to make sure that the prompts were very concise so that we could talk about them in the presentation today. Are cybersecurity jobs in demand? Or, for example, a list of associations for cybersecurity professionals. Having a list of associations for cybersecurity professionals or whatever industry you're in is very important because then you can sign up for the free newsletters and they can send you industry-specific information, which will help you, one, in having conversations because you'll be able to demonstrate that you know what's going on in the industry, as well as in the interview phase. When it comes to job titles, some prompts that we use are what are some job titles in cybersecurity? List alternative job titles for whatever job you're looking for. For example, if you know that you want to work specifically in the government sector or nonprofit, which they use different job titles than for-profit may, then you could do a prompt of list job titles found in the government sector, and you can expand these as well. List job titles found in the government sector for information technology professionals who focus on data analytics. So here we have one of the sample prompts that we put in so that we could demonstrate how it's actually working for us. So the prompt that we put in was, list some alternative job titles for cybersecurity analysts. And here was a list of 15 different job titles that could map to the same skill sets as a cybersecurity analyst. And this tip alone gives job seekers the ability to look for more job titles. Just by expanding your job search will open up more opportunities and hopefully help you find that a job that you're really looking for. When it comes to industries, some prompts that we use, because again, we're still in the research phase. So when it comes to industry research, we'll put some prompts in such as what industries need cybersecurity professionals, what specific skills do I need to work in whatever industry, and then you can follow up. So say prompt 2 on our screen here is what specific skills do I need to work in the finance industry? And one of the answers is you need to know financial systems. Well, you could follow up your next prompt with what are the most popular financial systems for cybersecurity analysts to know. These are very helpful prompts when you are, for example, trying to career change. Maybe I worked in finance prior, but I know that I want to work in cybersecurity, but I have all this finance experience and knowledge in my brain that I still want to utilize. So here's some results from different prompts that we typed in. What are the most popular financial systems for cybersecurity professionals to know? Now, this is really interesting because it showed us a variety of trading platforms and banking systems and treasury management systems. And for example, if you worked in finance, you may not see these as transferable skills. But now that we know that these are some of the more popular financial systems for cybersecurity professionals to know, we know that we should showcase these on our resumes or in our conversations. So for the research phase, when it comes to skills, some of the prompts that we use are list hard skills needed for a career in whatever career you want, list soft skills needed for a career in your specific career path. And here's one of my favorite ones. What transferable skills are there from a customer service representative to a cybersecurity analyst? So especially if you're in the career changing mode of your career. And so here's the results that we received. So what transferable skills are there from a customer service agent to a cybersecurity analyst? And it really gave us a very comprehensive list. There was like 10, only 6 fit on the screen, but there were like 10 of them. And you could have followed that up with, are there more skills, or expand the list or something like that. What this does as a job seeker is really allow you to showcase how you possess transferable skills and how they'll help you in the new roles that you're looking for. You could also just do this particular type of search, or this particular type of prompt with what skills are needed for cybersecurity analysts. This particular prompt that we're demonstrating is about transferable skills from one career to another, but just starting with what are the skills required for a cybersecurity analyst in the finance industry or the construction industry or whatever industry you want to work in. So when it comes to doing research on employers, so again, I said there's a lot of various prompts that we use for the research phase of the job seeker journey. So some of them, when we're researching employers, is list the top employers for remote work in the US for cybersecurity jobs. Now, I have to tell you, that is a question that we get asked all the time. What type of remote work opportunities are there out there? And you can do everything that we're discussing on Google. We all know that. But what ChatGPT or some of the other AI tools do is they allow us to filter down and not have to search through numerous pages to find the information. We have it kind of in one little section. It's much faster is what we have found. But again, I am passionate about job seekers need to find what works for them. So these tips and tricks today are suggestions. If they don't work for you, it's okay. We still want to be friends. List another prompt that we're using, list the top employers for cybersecurity jobs in Tampa, Florida, and then list employers that provide remote internships. So for our friends who are just starting off in the industry, you can actually use ChatGPT or any of the tools to find internship opportunities. So the prompt that we have as an example today, top cybersecurity companies in Tampa, Florida, and honestly, it did a really good job. Now, I know it did a really good job because I know my industry. So if I didn't know my local area or I didn't know my industry, then I'd have to follow up and do some research on each one of these companies, which as a job seeker, we need to do now anyways, that we have the list. But knowing what I know about Tampa and the tech companies, and that's where Computer Coach is headquartered, the list was really solid. So here is a follow-up that I did when we asked for a list of companies that provide remote internship opportunities. Then it listed 10 that provide remote internship opportunities. And then we asked it to make the list longer, and it did. So that gave us a more comprehensive list if we are looking for internships that allow remote work, that we can then go and we can research. And actually we ended up with 20 on the list for companies that provide remote internship opportunities for cybersecurity professionals. So as I said, there are all kinds of prompts that you can put in. And in the companion workbook, there are even more additional prompts that you can use. Download the companion workbook. It will be available at the end if you didn't download it. So now let's talk about how we're using ChatGPT and what prompts we're using in the resume section of the job seeker journey. Remember, for us, we use resumes to build conversations. Our resume is a marketing document designed to get you a conversation. People ask all the time, what should I include on my resume? And the truth is that you should provide on your resume enough information to convey that you are suitable for the job so that they want to have a conversation with you. Some uses in ChatGPT for the resume phase, you can ask ChatGPT to critique your resume. You just literally type in, please critique my resume, and then you paste your resume into the prompt and it will give you a critique. You can do job matching off of your resume. You can type in as a prompt, what job titles does the below resume map to? Now that's really great because one, it can recommend job titles, but it also will tell you if your resume is conveying that you are looking for the types of roles that you want to look for. It can help you build resumes. It can also help give you sample achievement statements for resumes. Talent acquisition managers, hiring managers, recruiters, they want to know what can we expect if you join our team. And so having achievements built into your resume is so important. So having sample achievement statements allows you to say, oh yeah, you know what? I did do that, but my achievement was this and not that. And you can customize it for your own experience. You should never lie on your resume. You don't want to, when it comes to the resume, I'm not a big believer in fake it till you make it. I believe we need to find jobs that are suitable for us that we can excel in. So some other prompts that you can use, you can take language out of job descriptions to really understand it. Like maybe you don't understand, what are they exactly asking for? You can paste that in and ChatGPT can kind of summarize it for you in a different way. It can help you get past the applicant tracking systems, and then we can source job leads as well. For the resume review section, you can type in some prompts such as critique my resume and then paste your resume. What should I include on a cybersecurity analyst resume? List of skills to include on my help desk level 1 or technical support resume. And it gives us a skills list that then we can do further research on and see, are these skills applicable to the roles that I'm looking for? So here is, I typed in critique my resume and it actually I pasted in the resume, and then it gave us, as a front-end developer, your resume should highlight your relevant technical skills. And then it gave us a list of things that we could add into our resume. Now we can look at our resume and say, yes, I have that, or no, I don't. And then you can add it in. And this is all really useful when it comes to if you are working with a job placement department or a career coach of some type, you really want to maximize that time that you have with that individual. And these particular types of prompts really help. Some sample prompts for creating resumes are: write a resume for a blank role, adjust my resume for the following description. And so what you can do is you can type in the prompt, adjust my resume for the following job description, paste your resume in, and then paste your job description into the prompt, and it will actually give you some suggestions. Add sample achievement statements. This is a follow-up to adjust my resume for the following job description, or write a resume. You can write a resume for a cybersecurity analyst role, and then you can go ahead and follow up with the prompt of add sample achievement statements. ChatGPT or any AI tool, if you're just telling it to write a resume for you, is not going to know what your experience is. So you do absolutely need to adjust your resume so that it reflects what you did. But essentially, you can get ChatGPT to make you a template, which then you can adjust. So you want to make sure whatever you put on your resume is absolutely your experience. I want to make sure I say that several times. I don't want anybody walking away today thinking like, oh, I should just make a resume on ChatGPT and start applying. No, you need to use the resume and then adjust it to be applicable for your jobs that you've held in your job search. So here's a sample of what we received when we typed in write a list of 10 achievement statements for cybersecurity roles. And here we have a list of different achievement statements that we can use, and we can adjust if it is appropriate and applicable to our particular experience. More prompts, they're there. We had different prompts built in here, but now they are on the companion workbook. So do download the companion workbook. Next, into how we're using ChatGPT in the conversation phase. Remember, for us, conversations are designed to convert to an interview, and that is really important. So different uses: gathering networking information, professional branding topics, explaining complex topics. That's really important because when you do get to interviews or in conversations, maybe you've worked on a passion project that is a little bit more detailed or intense for the networking group that you're going to go to. And ChatGPT can help you break that complex topic down into more simplified terms, which could really help you build rapport when you're talking to people. You can ask ChatGPT to come up with a sample project list, and it can help you find what we call passion projects so that you have some examples of work that you've done. This works really well in any technical career path. Having passion projects while you're job searching is really important because it allows you to talk to what you've been doing while you were job searching as well. You can create talking points that integrate your strengths, and it can help you with your LinkedIn, creating blog posts for your LinkedIn and really helping you stand out and get some additional eyeballs on your LinkedIn profile. So some prompts about starting conversations, especially any friends that out there that are introverts. We hear you, we get it. It is not that easy to just start talking to total strangers. ChatGPT can help you with a list of ways to introduce yourself, or how do I start conversations, topics that you should talk about at different networking events. There's all different types of prompts. But some of the prompts that we used are: how can I effectively introduce myself and communicate my professional background during networking events or job fairs? How should I approach and engage with potential employers on professional networking platforms like LinkedIn? It can even write some customized introductions for you if you want. How can I leverage storytelling techniques? All different types of things that you can do. And so here is: how can I effectively introduce myself and communicate my professional background during networking events or job fairs? Effectively introducing yourself, and then it tells us for what we can do. Prepare an elevator pitch. You can even ask ChatGPT as a follow-up to that: write my elevator pitch. Write 3 elevator pitches for me, and you can type in your experience. You can really give ChatGPT a persona to write from. So write 3 elevator pitches for a senior security engineer with 10 years experience working in DoD on aerospace projects. So it can write 3 different elevator pitches, and then you can adjust them to be right for you. When we are doing our 30-second introductions or elevator pitches or whatever you want to call them, we want to make sure that we are rehearsed and not memorized, because we do have to be able to tweak our introductions for all the different types of networking or organizations that we are, networking in or introducing ourselves at. But it's a really great starting point that allows you to have a starting point and build from there. I say it's easier to critique than it is to create. And that, for me, is what ChatGPT has allowed during the job seeker journey. It allows you to critique and adjust easier than just sitting there staring at a blank screen going, oh, I got to start a resume. So how should I approach and engage with potential employers on professional networking platforms? So it tells you to optimize your profile, ensure your LinkedIn profile is complete and up to date, a compelling headline. Then you can ask it to write compelling headlines for you based on your experience. Personalize your connection requests. It can write personalized connection requests for you. It can help you research companies, which we saw in stage 1 of the job seeker journey. Another prompt sample that we typed in, how can I leverage storytelling techniques to make my job search conversations more engaging? And then it tells you, right, structure your story, focus on relevant experiences, be concise, and you can follow up with all kinds of prompts to help you along the way. Moving on to the 4th stage of the job seeker journey, which is the interviewing stage. Now, remember, the interviewing stage is what actually allows you to get a job offer. If you don't interview for a job and you get a job offer that is probably not a real job offer, please be aware. I know that there are a lot of scams out there when you are in a job search mode. So please make sure you are using your spidey senses. So various ways that we are using ChatGPT for interviewing: list of most popular interviewing questions, and then answer the most popular interviewing questions for whatever industry. You can very much personalize these. You can use ChatGPT to mock interview. You can use ChatGPT to understand the differences in interviewing questions, like the difference between behavioral, situational, how do I answer those? You can type out your answers to interviewing questions and you can ask it to critique your interview questions. And then you can also ask it to make a list of questions to ask the interviewer, which is very important as well. In the interviewing phase, you want to, various prompts that we've used so that we can talk about some examples today. Write popular interview questions for a cybersecurity analyst role. Answer the interview questions. What are questions I can or should ask in an interview for a cybersecurity role? Like, you can personalize it, of course. And what are interview questions to gauge my soft skills in cybersecurity roles? Very important, right? Soft skills are so important, talked about all the time in the workplace now. So I typed in popular interview questions for cybersecurity professionals. You could make it as a question as well. What are some popular interview questions for cybersecurity professionals? And it gave me a pretty comprehensive list. The first one being, can you explain the CIA triad and its importance in cybersecurity? What's the difference between a threat, vulnerability, and a risk? And then I asked it to answer the questions. And the answers are fairly decent. You can even, which we have done, we have asked ChatGPT to give us a list of the most popular interview questions for whatever role: project management, business analyst, cybersecurity, help desk, front-end developers, the list goes on. And then we've asked it to answer the interview questions using the PAR interview framework, or the CAR, or the STAR. So it will actually answer the interview questions as a problem, action, result. So whatever framework of choice, if you're using STAR, CAR, PAR, it can actually answer the interview questions in that exact framework, which helps tremendously, because then you can rehearse the interview questions and you can be well polished when it is time for your actual interview. We typed in sample questions I should ask in an interview, and we got back a list of really good questions. And remember, it's okay in an interview to have a portfolio with you if it's in person, or if you're interviewing virtual. You can have a list of questions that you want to ask. You don't necessarily need to memorize the questions. You can take notes in an interview when you're asking your interview questions, when you're asking the questions of whatever questions you have for the interviewer. It's okay to take some notes. I mean, it's acceptable. So don't think you have to memorize these. A lot of times I've seen individuals who go in for interviews, they'll have a list of questions, they try to memorize them, and then they get so nervous when they're interviewing that they forget what questions they wanted to ask at the end. And you really do want to have interview questions to ask the person interviewing you. All right, so what are popular interview questions to gauge my soft skills in cybersecurity roles? And it gave us a list. Can you describe a time when you had to explain a complex technical concept to a non-technical audience? How did you ensure they understood the topic? And these give you the ability to reflect on your experience and write out your own PAR answers to the interview questions. Or you could follow up and ask ChatGPT to make some interview answers for you as well. And then you can customize them to reflect your particular experience. So now let's talk about the offer phase of the job seeker journey, the phase where everybody wants to be. So different uses, writing thank you notes or emails, writing follow-up emails, salary information sites, list of different benefits that you may be interested in. There's all kinds of benefits out there that you can negotiate. What are the common benefits in different industries? So some prompts that we use. What factors should I consider when evaluating a job offer? How do I determine if a salary offer is competitive based on the role, the industry, the location? What strategies or tips can you provide for negotiating a job offer? And here's what we got. What factors should I consider when evaluating a job offer? And it told us salary, benefits, company culture, and we could follow up with how do I evaluate company culture specifically? And it will give us some things to consider. And a lot of this is food for thought. Oh, I didn't realize that. You know what? I never thought of that particular way of evaluating company culture. Let me go and check out their social media and see if their social media reflects what their mission and values say. How do I determine if a salary offer is competitive based on the role, the industry, and the location? It gives us some resources that we can use. What strategies or tips can you provide for negotiating a job offer? Again, do your research, know your worth, and you can follow up all of these. So it has a lot of abilities to help job seekers at the various phases of the job seeker journey. In summary, so we can open up and get some questions. We do believe ChatGPT can be a great help as a job search tool. Again, we do believe you need to customize everything that ChatGPT spits out for your job seeker journey. It needs to be customized for your job search. It needs to be applicable to your experience. They need to be your achievement statements. But we do recognize how difficult it can be to start with a blank slate. And so this gives you a way that you can get some information going, get your creative juices going, and then customize it all so that you're not spending as much time behind your computer and you're actually spending time out networking, making connections, building on connections, because statistically your next job role is going to come from a friend, a family member, or somebody in your network that you know. Do make sure you double check all your outputs. As I said earlier, it absolutely hallucinates. Everybody knows that. Some of the information is gook and some of it is amazing. So you are in charge of your own career. And so you need to know if the information is correct or not. I will always say in every webinar that we run, which we do run job seeker strategy webinars every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. This ChatGPT is just one. Do follow us on Eventbrite if you're not currently following us so you can get notified of the different webinars that we have coming up that are free and open to the public. But no one will care more about your job search than you as the job seeker. So use the tools that are out there to help you maximize your time so that you are being effective and efficient. Embrace the power of the new technology, and then hopefully it will unlock some new fulfilling and successful careers for you. As I promised, another QR code where you can scan the QR code to download the companion workbook, which has all of the prompts that we talked about today, as well as additional prompts that we are using for the various stages of the job seeker journey. So we'll pause here just for a minute for everyone to be able to scan the QR code. I am going to open up for questions. There is a Q&A where you can type your questions in the Q&A. And then there's also the chat. So I have not opened the chat yet. I will in just a minute. You can scan this QR code to follow us on Eventbrite to learn about the various job seeker webinars that we teach. They are Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. They are free and open to the public. We have a variety of them every Tuesday. We try to teach a different topic. So go ahead and scan this. We also host a Thursday and a Friday guest speaker series. So you can learn about those particular events also on the same Eventbrite. We host a guest speaker series Thursdays and Fridays on a variety of different topics so that job seekers can learn from a lot of different perspectives. Some tips and tricks will be right for you, some will not. That's okay. There's a variety of different ways to find the next role that you're looking for. And you can scan this QR code to connect with me on LinkedIn. I also dropped my LinkedIn into the chat, but I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to hear about your journey. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to reach out to me. I am happy to help. Sometimes it may take me a day or two to respond, but I generally have a very good response rate. All right. Thank you so much for sitting and listening to me talk about ChatGPT today. We have really had some great success using this tool to help individuals in their job search.
To learn more about our training programs, classes, and what sets us apart, please visit our website at www.computercoach.com.